Alright, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Damn, man, fuck that. This was marriage versus love, or marriage versus commitment. Um, since brothers are waking up, men in general are waking up to marriage, um, let me say why it's a problem, or why it's versus love or commitment. See, you could be intertwined with somebody for life and love them and be committed to them. And you can be married to somebody for life and be legally binded to them until you're not until for life, or until you decide not to be legally binded with them on a piece of paper. The difference is this: just because you could love someone and not be married to them, and you could be married to somebody and not love them. Same thing with commitment. You can be committed and not love somebody, or you could love somebody and be committed. You could be committed and married and not committed. And the business of marriage is taking precedent over the love of another human being, or the commitment to another human being. And those are internal things. Those can't be binded by a piece of paper. Either you down for somebody or you not. And the problem with that is, with marriage, too many men. Marriage is a guarantee for women and a maybe for men. Since there's no guarantee for the men, men are like, I don't know. I mean, what am I actually going to get out of marriage? And yeah, that's the answer. I mean, what are you going to, out of commitment? Somebody, marriage is like a binding contract saying that she has to be around you, and you have to pay her for her time if she doesn't want to be around you no more. That's, in simplistic terms, how it's looking to guys. Yeah, our time isn't valuable. We're not getting shit out of a divorce. We're not getting shit out of. We're not getting alimony. We're not getting a split of all marital, what do you call that, assets. It's just a lose situation, right? You lose the house, you lose the kids, you lose your money, you can lose your retirement. You could be married to somebody for a few years, and a woman could be married to a man for a few years and be entitled to half of his retirement that he probably worked 30 years for. That's a problem. You can be married for a few years and entitled to. I don't think you're entitled to the income he has prior to the marriage, but whatever you made during it, entitled to half of that. So if you're entitled to half of what you made during the marriage, and you decide, and this is why guys are leery, because if you're doing things, you get a house and you want to move her into your house and you want to be with her, and y'all come to the agreement. Sometimes she wants to get another house, and guys already know, just don't want another house because she don't like this house. She want another house so she can take the house if we get divorced, because we'll both be on that motherfucking deed like that one. Because if you already had the house, it's your name on the deed or title. If the house is paid for, if it's a new house, then it's both of y'all. So if it's both of y'all, if there's a divorce, it's hers. Still, nobody's people are hip to that. Same thing with the cars and all that. So a lot of this upgrade in lifestyle is never really an upgrade in lifestyle. It's a plan to get as much as you can get if you don't want the person anymore, which is a part of the commitment. And I saw this guy say this. He was like, how would you treat your best friend? And A lot of times, people don't treat their best friend. People may treat their best friend better than they do their significant other. So you're supposed to be um, becoming one with your significant other, but you treat your best friend better than your significant other. So why not just? That's why people old school says you should try to become your significant other's best friend. That way, if you get married, you marry your best friend. So you're gonna still treat them with the utmost love and respect, and be committed to them, and be down for their well-being because that's your best friend. But people have separated a friendship and a relationship, and think we are in this relationship, but there is no friendship. So it's just obligation, and to have a relationship filled with obligation with no friendship is usually a recipe for disaster. And this is why marriage versus love, or marriage versus commitment. Because at the end of the day, people are not caring about the people, even when it comes to having children. You know, people are having children as a golden parachute. People are having children because they actually want children. And the way people are getting having children sometimes just to, which creates another problem, is to keep somebody in some form or fashion where they didn't ask they didn't ask to be played like that. That's part of the no matter if it's a man or woman. If a guy pokes a holes in the condom, if a woman says she's on a pill and she lies, if people are taking birth control or using birth control, but they ain't using it properly on purpose, and they just go, oops, well, I guess you stuck with me. That draws a wedge in between human beings, just like that, because you've made somebody obligated to you for life out of your own selfishness, knowing that that's not what they wanted, and they ain't gonna never. They gonna have to deal with what comes with it, but they ain't gonna never truly respect you after that, because they know you ain't 100. You full of shit. And another part of that is people being full of shit, because people are meeting people and getting a relationship with people and being married to people, and talk about the love for the first 6 months. You're talking to their representative, and a lot of the anger comes from after that time's up. The person that you find out that you really with, you don't like that person. You're looking back to the representative like, you need to bring your representative back, because you ain't shit. Your representative is dope, but you ain't shit. Which creates a lot of problems. I know, but then people want to get married. And I'm going to say something real quick, get this over with. Some people out here, and I'm going to say this to the females per se, a lot of you women want marriage. I want to be married. I want to be married. I want to be married. That's because you get everything out of it. And y'all know y'all get everything out of it, and guys are leery because they're like, yeah, you want to be married. You want to have a wedding. You want it. But at the same time, you're not consistent in the things you want in a relationship. So I ain't gonna say I know, but personally, so you're looking at it like, I know that you won't be consistent in a marriage, because you're gonna throw a tantrum every time you change your mind about whatever you want at this time. Everything's got to be perfect, and that's a problem. Everything does not have to be perfect. You got fair weather marriages, fair weather relationships, fair weather love, fair weather commitment. And personally, I'll say this. This is how I know to cut certain women off. I can commit to a woman, but I don't commit to the idea of a long-term relationship until to see how she responds to when it's not so good. Cause see, everybody could be cool when everything's good, but see, when things are not so good, people can turn on you, just like that. So you could be good to somebody for a year straight, just making it long, And they, oh, I want to always be with you forever. You can go through 30 days of trials and tribulations that are not so hot, and they don't want to be around you no more because it's just too hard. The 12 months are good and great. Go out the window for 30 days of trials and tribulations. And most women don't understand. A lot of y'all do that shit. Y'all there for date night, and then y'all complain why there ain't no more date night because your ass is you fair weather as hell. Why would a guy take out somebody who's only there for the good times? You ain't earned a good time at that point. Why would you marry somebody who's only there for the good times? You ain't earned a good time. Same thing with fidelity. Women get upset about guys cheating and all that other shit, and I would be upset too. I could get it. Because don't tell me you one way and be laying next to me and let me find out you somebody else. It's not gonna go over well. So the marriage, part of marriage not lasting is people not being real to begin with. You're not getting in relationships with these real people. You're not falling in love with the real person. You're not even committed to the real person, but you want to get married because of the idea or the fantasy or the ideal or the fantasy of the ideal of marriage, which is just a piece of paper. That's a guarantee that a woman gets something from a breakup. It's a guarantee, and it's a maybe. If a woman don't break up with you, maybe you can keep a lot of the shit you work for as a guy. That's not gonna work. I'm just saying, it's not gonna work. Peace.